Welcome, everyone, to the Rainmaker Report. This is Andy Thompson, and here are three late breaking cybersecurity stories that you need to know about. So, first up, shiver me timbers, me mateys, privateering is back. President Trump just signed a national security memo that lets private companies run offensive hacking operations alongside federal law enforcement. I don't know if you realize what I just said here, people. Private sector hackback has been endorsed at the White House level. Okay, so per multiple sources, this memo clears a path for private firms to help law enforcement go on the offensive against these transnational criminal groups. You see, we've been kind of restrained here for a while. For over a decade, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act has made breaking into someone else's system a federal crime, even if that target is a criminal and a scumbag. So, this is like the first serious move to carve out a legal lane around this legislation. Now we have ransomware crews, pig butchering rings, and fraud networks running all over the world are now in the crosshairs of the White House. Now, I will say this, okay? There is a bit of a devil in the details, and currently things are a bit vague, okay? Nobody has defined who qualifies as a partner, who supervises them, or what happens when a hackback hits the wrong server in an allied country. Really, at the end of the day, I don't know how I feel about this. We have like other nation states that have outsourced their offensive capabilities as a method to avoid attribution. Are we doing that? I don't know. Either way, this does impose some real cost to the threat actors now. At least now we have a legal method to hack back. Moving on to our second story. Flock Safety, the company whose license plate readers blanket thousands of American towns, just rolled out a tool called Audit Assistance that's supposed to catch cops abusing the system. It's mandatory for every customer, which is good, but there's one problem. Flock won't say how it works. Yeah, this lands after a steady drip of stories about officers running searches on ex partners, journalists, protesters, and even women crossing state lines for abortions. Yeah, so their solution to all this is basically let's just use AI to audit everything. Yeah. Supposedly, it flags suspicious searches and then kicks them up to department leadership. And the CEO says it's already caught some bad actors, which is great, but how? Okay, that's where they're going quiet here. Currently, there's no detection criteria, no models defined, no definition of suspicious actions, no independent accuracy audit, nothing. Okay, we're being asked here to trust a surveillance vendor to police law enforcement customers based on their marketing language alone. Okay, there are still a ton of questions that need answering before the public is appeased here. Okay, because what we have here so far is Flock owning the surveillance platform, and it's also basically its own watchdog on top of it. Catching too much abuse would be bad for marketing and bad for their product. But if you think about it, catching too little kind of looks really good for press releases. It says, "Hey, look, our users are being good with all this private, sensitive data," when in actuality they're really not. So do you think that Flock has a biased incentive here? I do. Okay. When a vendor says, "Trust us, our AI catches the bad guys," the right answer here is to show me the methodology, show me the details. Okay. If they can't explain this at a technical level, this is only a worthless press release and nothing more. All right, let's move on to our last story of the day. A 153 gigabyte archive of stolen credentials just hit the internet, and it traces straight back to the LiteLLM supply chain attack from earlier this year. Researchers pulled the dump apart, comprising of 433,000 files, 118,000 CI runner dumps, and 2,488 corporate domains. All the big boys: AWS, Samsung, Cisco, Salesforce. Yep, they're all in there. So let's first talk about LiteLLM. Okay, they're a popular open source proxy that sits in front of your LLM APIs, and it allows you to do some pretty cool stuff like switch models on the fly, load balance, failover, that sort of stuff. Anyways, LiteLLM got popped a while back, and it allowed the attackers to harvest everything that ran through the pipeline. This is about as bad as it gets, folks. I mean, we're talking about CI/CD secrets, API tokens, cloud keys, environment variables from every org that pulled the tainted version into their build. Yeah, the result of this supply chain attack was just simply put months upon months of quiet collection, all sitting in this lovely little archive here. Now, in particular, the CI runner dumps were really the nightmare part. They hold all sorts of goodies like AWS keys, GitHub tokens, database creds, and signing keys. So, yeah, if you ran LiteLLM in any CI pipeline this year, you need to treat every secret that pipeline has ever touched as burned. Okay? All right, folks. Well, that wraps up today's stories. This is Andy Thompson.